Brushes, brushes, brushes. There's so many different kinds, so many to choose from. What do I need to start with? What kinds are there? What's the best? What's the best bang for the buck? I'm going to show you my brush collection today and do a review on some of my favorites and show you which ones I think are best and try to answer all those questions for you. The first set of brushes I wanted to talk about are the Sonia Kashuk ones, and these are from Target. And the ones I have are the white handled ones. I have 6 of them. So let me go over some of those and then I'll show you MAC comparisons. This one here is a fluffy one, and this is comparable to MAC's 222. This is MAC's 224. Do you see the difference between those? This one's a little bit thinner and a little bit smaller, and that one's just fluffier. But if you get the MAC 222, it's going to be very comparable to that. I don't know exactly what it's called, but you'll see that it's black bristles and fluffy. The other one is kind of a flat shader brush, and this one's a small one. I like using this for putting on paint pots because it's smaller and it's still stiff enough that you can get precise application with that. The other one that's kind of similar to it is just a little bit larger. I use that for concealer for under my eyes. It's pretty stiff and thick, so it holds up to the creams really well. The other one is very similar to this one, but it's a little bit wider and just a teeny bit shorter, but it's pretty stiff. This one is pretty comparable, let me see if I could find it, to MAC's 239 brush. And that's what the 239 brush looks like. Do you see how they're the same? Same size and everything. So this will work very well for the 239, and it's 1/3 the cost. The only difference is the handle's just a little bit shorter. So that's really the only difference, but it works really well. One of my favorite ones by Sonia Kashuk is this one. It's another flat shader brush, but it's a little bit thinner. I don't know if you can see that. I love this for concealer too, especially in right here in my eyes if I need to cover up any darkness in there. This gets right in there. It's not too thick, but it's perfect size. I'm going to try to see if I can find another one of those. And then my final one from Sonia Kashuk is a lip brush. I don't use this very much, but if you're a lip fanatic, then this would be definitely something you want to have in your collection. So that's the 6 ones from Sonia Kashuk. I would have to say that this brand is most accessible because you can get them from Target, and they're really good for your money. You get your bang for your buck out of these because they work well, they hold up well, they wash easily. I haven't had any problems with these. So check out Target. They do have a new set that's not the white handle. They're kind of fancy looking. They cost more. They work the same. So the white handle ones are cheaper and they're perfectly fine. So I wouldn't invest any more money to get the fancier looking ones just because it has a different handle. MAC brushes, the ones that I would definitely recommend, and you'll see an article this on my website, it's under articles and reviews, is the 217 brush. This is like the 222 or the 224. That's the 224, that's the 217. But this one's just a little bit shorter, and the brushes are just a little bit more stiff, so it's great for getting in the outer V. If you have a larger eye, it's great for packing on paint pots, spreading it easily. I would definitely say if you're going to invest in a brush from MAC to get the 217 brush. I haven't found a good duplicate for it yet, so I will spend money to get this brush because I can't find anything else like it. The 224 is another really good one if you have larger eyes, but again, if you have smaller ones, I would say get a 222, the Sonia Kashuk one, because it's smaller and you can get in the crease just a little bit easier. So that's the 224. The other one is that I've already mentioned is the 239. It's a flat shader brush. That one can be duped for one of the Sonia Kashuk ones as well. The other one by MAC that I haven't really found a duplicate, but I'm sure there is one out there, is the 228. I use this for the defined crease technique because you can get right in that crease, be very detailed. You can also smudge under the eyelid. You could probably dupe this one, I just haven't found it yet, but that's a really small shader brush. The other one by MAC that I would say that you should spend money on because I haven't found a good duplicate for it yet, sorry, I need to find it, is the 219. This is a pencil brush. I don't know if you can see the tip of that. It's very stiff, so it's really good for smudging out the lash line with the eyeliner. Doing a smoky eye, you can smudge some down here. If you want a really defined crease, you can do this with the outer V. It's just a really good brush. That's pretty much it for my MAC brushes. For Sephora, Bare Essentials, I have the angled brush. You can get this anywhere. You don't have to get an expensive one. I'm sure Target has one. You use this for filling in the eyebrows, for using eyeshadows to line the lash line. So I would say definitely you need an angled brush. Coastal scent brushes. Let's talk about those. I have a really small angled brush. And I don't remember what the MAC comparison is, but I use this a lot for my cream eyeliners because it's small enough to where I can really get precise with that lash line. So that one I would recommend. The other one I have, this is comparable to MAC's 227 brush. It's pretty full, it's pretty thick, and it's kind of short, but it's wide. This is also good for doing an all-over wash of color on your lid, or if you have a large space to highlight, this would be good for that. You can spread that color all over there. So this one's optional. You can go ahead and get that one if you feel like it. But the one brush from Coastal Scents that I'm going to brag about is the Kabuki brush, the pink one. I have one of these from Bare Essentials and it costs considerably more, and to be honest, this one works better. I use it all the time for my mineral makeup, for powder, anything that I use to kind of buff out my face. Like if I have too much blush, I'll use it to kind of buff it out. I use this one every single day. So if there's one brush from Coastal Scents that I would say to get, would be this one. My second pick from Coastal Scents would be the skunk brush. And this is comparable to MAC's 187. And let me show you that. This is MAC's 187. This is the Coastal Scents brush. They're pretty much the same size. They work the same. The Coastal Scent one, the brush is pretty long, so that's the only annoying thing, is that the handle's fairly long. And this does shed more than the MAC one, so you need to wash it first before you use it. But once you wash it, it works perfectly fine. And I use this brush for putting on blush, and you see me using it with my Fix Plus a lot. I spray it on there and then stipple my face to kind of get rid of the powdery look. So this one I use every day. So Coastal Scents, get the skunk brush, the Kabuki brush. From Sonia Kashuk, I would have to say my top pick, well, really any of them would be good, but the one I use most is that a little bit longer kind of flat shader brush. And boy, really any of them. Just go check them out at Target. From MAC, the one I would say to get is the 217 and the 219 because those are hard to duplicate. And then the last brand I'm going to talk about is Posh brushes. I haven't used these a ton, but they do work really well, and I have two of those brushes, and these are soft and small dome brushes. I use these for getting in the crease, this one here for very strong application or for a very precise outer V. The smaller one I use to smudge under the lash line for a softer look, but thanks to Robbie Best, she told me that at CVS, and I went to check it out, they have these brushes there. It's called Crease Duo Set, and it's only $5 for two brushes, and they're exactly the same as this. So if you're looking for a small dome brush to define that outer V or to smudge under that lash line, go to CVS and check them out. Only $5 for both of those. My last brush that I have that I use a lot is the angled fluffy brush. You see me use this a lot. You can get any kind. I'm pretty sure Target has them, Sephora has a brand. This one's by Bare Essentials just because it came with the starter kit for the minerals. I've been using this one forever and it holds up really well, but to be honest, any version will do as long as it's sort of soft and a little bit fluffy and angled. But I use that to contour, to apply blush if I want a stronger color, to blend out just a little bit. So that's my brush collection. Check out the website for my top 5 picks for MAC brushes, and I'll also try to do an article soon of comparisons of lower end brushes versus the higher end and which ones to get to save you some money. So hopefully that was helpful for you guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you soon.